Jake, what's going on?
Hey, Kurt Stir, what it
So
is?
we have officially come to a milestone, is what they call it. We have in front of us all 8 pages. I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, 98% complete. What
Well,
we
yeah,
have to do, what we have to do is we've got to go page by page through all eight and basically make note on whether we want to make changes here and now or later in the let's say official first issue. But just sort of also just maybe give more update and in depth to that because I just want to thank all you turbonauts out there that made it through the last like what 4 videos of us lettering. So,
right. Well, we were just doing the guide for the lettering, not even the lettering, right?
well, no,
Because
I've lettered. This is all lettered. This is a
oh, well, you were
lettered
lettering
book.
in one in
This
one side, and I was,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
doing.
doing the guide.
I was the one that volunteered taking what you were laying out in Quark and then printing out to size 13 by 19 inches. I was then printing it out,
Yeah.
and then
So
uh, and then uh, and then I did a hand lettering thing because we want this book to be over 90% handmade without computers is what I
right.
mean. So um, So
Yeah.
you had
So you,
said right before we had gotten on, uh, uh, but is there anything you want to say before we launch into this?
no, just so people know. So Kurt told me, print this out. We're going to go over this fresh on the air, and natural reaction, and we're going to
Yep,
take a close look at it, look and make any kind of touch
we're
ups
gonna
that we need to
we're
make.
gonna red
Um,
line it. We're gonna
yeah,
red
just
line
so
the hell
people
out of
know,
this thing.
right, just so people know that on my side of the screen, I printed this out of an old brother printer, so I'm working with something that's really dark here. And when I printed, I went to a convention a couple of weeks ago, months ago, and I had, it was my printer was so dark. I actually went in and I lightened up in Photoshop every page, and before I printed it out, just so I could, have something with me for my portfolio. So I would have to do that again if I'm ever using this printer. But that said, that's my disclaimer. If you're looking at my side of the screen, um, and yeah, I guess we can jump in if you're ready.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mine is closest to how the final configuration of the teaser will be. I'm printing on a Epson Workforce 7840 as of now. I usually buy these things like once a year. I might actually be coming up on buying another one, a new one, a higher version. But it's on a cream color 11 by 17 piece of paper, and it's 2 pieces of paper printed 4 pages in sequence of how the story rolls. But this is our cover. This is a QR code. Now, I just need to warn you, your QR code works right now, I think. But I have a feeling it's going to expire. So, right before the show, about 20 minutes ago, I did a real quick lookup on getting a free QR code that would not expire. And believe it or not, you can get one directly in the URL on Google Chrome. It's in the share button all the way to the right, and it just generates a QR code to the URL you would like. This URL is our Turbo Pit Fighter YouTube channel. So, as a teaser, I feel that what we're doing is we're promoting the fact that Jake and I are the only 2 comic book artists on YouTube that are getting together every Sunday and making Turbo Pit Fighter comic. We split the roles and the duties. Jake is a primary writer and penciler, and I am the supporting storyteller and inker. And so I had come up with the idea of getting into a teaser, basically, instead of waiting for I don't know, 2.5 years of Sundays for us to complete issue number one. The fans that we would slowly start generating, which we have, by the way, at episode 66, I have about 7 to 8 people who are actually really wanting to see this. So I'm anxious to get that in their hands, as well as getting other people who have YouTube channels that might want to get a complimentary copy and then do some reviews. So with this, physical, no digital. We're not printing any digital unless I'm argued into it for whatever reason we could come to. But the idea is that then once you physically have this, you would take your phone, go ahead and zap right over it, and then it'll take you to the YouTube channel, which you could then subscribe and follow along with us. But I will also say this to lead us into the feedback and critiquing and looking into this is that you had said up at the top we wanted to put something of a slogan up here. Do
Yeah,
you
this.
have you come up with anything at this point?
Oh well, I wanted to put Doom Magazines presents right there, and we also need to identify somewhere. I guess there's room there too that this is just a sampler, a tease,
Well,
so.
that's what this is about. So the back of it, boing.
Oh yeah, I didn't look at the last page yet. You want me to skip to there?
Now you
So
don't have to. You don't have to.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, because if someone's just seeing this line on a table, um, yeah, right. I think I had like a some kind of logo where it was like a a, a demon looking in a page with eyes like that, and it said Doom
Ooh.
Doom magazines or something. I don't remember exactly how. Oh yeah, maybe it was like
Oh.
DOOM magazines like that. But then
Oh.
real small here. I mean, either it presents, right, or 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 maybe we don't need the presents. I don't know, but that was my that was my thinking about what to put there.
Do you have something already either doodled up or could doodle up, and we could try to come up with a version of it? Because I love this graphic idea for Doom, and then it's DOOM, and then magazine there.
Right, Doom magazines. Right. No, I don't have anything. I mean, I might have something from my teenage days when I was doing Doom. Um,
What about that old flimsy notebook you found behind the couch last week?
yeah, that I don't think I was doing logo types back then. But I did I have used that name before for my zine. Ow, I just stubbed my toe. This right here is oh yeah, here we go.
Oh yes! Oh yes!
I
Oh
yeah,
man, that's great.
I knew I
Oh,
saw
that's
it somewhere.
great.
Yeah, but
Oh
but
man,
it
that is
would it would
great.
have to change. I mean, this was just off the cuff when I was doing this crazy zines.
Oh, you
I
couldn't
think.
scan that and send it to me, and we could just see what it looks like.
Well, it's not the right. Yeah, we could. I mean, I could take a photo of it. Do magazines presents.
Or
Yeah, but
yeah.
but
But
I would
that
be.
seems like it would. That seems like it would sit better over here, top left hand
Um.
corner, just like you have it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Maybe. Yeah. If I mean, first of all, I would just take the magazines, make it smaller. Take the Doom, make it bigger. Um. I would make this a little more square. Than tall. Um.
Okay.
But that was it. Yeah, that's the basic, graphic idea. You know.
Right. Right.
And so that's there. And then, if we do that here, it would have to be a little bit smaller. There's not as much room there as it is here. And then we could just write something here like six page.
Post-apocalyptic romance story.
Yeah, I don't know about that on the cover. I think that's okay for the back
You
matter
don't think
maybe,
so?
but um yeah, no, I think people should maybe it should unfold and people can see what it is. But right there, I would just say that this is just a sampler, 6-page sampler, right, or 8-page sampler,
Teaser.
something like something like that. Well, yeah, you call it teaser, so 6-page teaser, right?
That would be
Or
interesting. Yeah.
version 001A, right? Um, yeah, I noticed my scanning code here. I noticed yours is much bigger. It's really starting to take up some room there. I guess this is okay for for the teaser, but I definitely wouldn't want to put this on the cover of a printed, finished comic,
Why?
28 page. Um, I don't think it goes with everything. They have all these different virgin covers now. They don't even put the
Oh
title
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
some of these things.
Right. It could definitely
Um,
be in the back.
yeah, right. If it's on the back cover, sure. But I mean, this does is just save you from typing a URL, right?
Nobody does that.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I know the barcode has been on Marvel and DC comics forever, but I figure for indie comics, just want the art and unmolested. That's my
Okay.
view. All right. So should we move on?
Heck yeah. Let's turn the page. Just open up to a 2-page 1-2 bango.
Um, so this is the first time I'm seeing it here with lettering, and it's really so dark on mine I can't hardly even see, but yours looks good. We spoke about this last time, but the lettering looks great here, 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 and here. But I some places where it gets crowded, I think it's probably worth it to grab it and just make some space. We
Are you
have
saying
like
inside the box or the box outside of the text?
right. I think we could afford it to make the letters smaller, but there might be some times where we want to do it outside the text. I'm also wondering about making kicking back the type so it's not black, so that it's maybe gray.
Yeah, so
And
that would be me creating like a 70% opacity or an 80-85% opacity. Is that what you're thinking?
yeah, you just grab it and make it gray. So that's but I don't think we would necessarily have to do that uniformly. We could just do it wherever we think it needs. Like on this page, I don't know if it needs it, right? I think it's good to be bold. I mean, I can't really see on this preview printout like what the actual gray tones are like and how it all works together. So kind of conceptualizing it, like I'm sure I'm losing all this here, that there was some detail. So I mean, I could switch over here to the PDF and look at it on screen. I mean, it's much lighter as I'm looking at the PDF on screen. But yeah, just as far as marking this up, where is it looking crowded? Where does it need any kind of work here? Uh, this is this just button up here, the black against the exclamation point, is because it looks like it should be tucked under there, right? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. I have to look at the original. So this
I
is
hear you.
tucked under there. Yeah. So this looks like it works here. Maybe this I would say, make it 95% of what it is, or 96% of what it is, just so it isn't so crowded. Um,
Are you saying for he was an engineer, go 90%, whatever?
yeah, what I would do is I would take the lasso in Photoshop. I would grab this text, and it looks like you have plenty of of airspace on the left and right, but you don't have it on the top and bottom. So I would vertically scale it to about 95% so that you get at least this much of airspace all around. And I'm
Oh,
not just nitpicking like this box. I think just in general, that we should do that because like you're in danger if you have a line that's so close to the edge. Not only is it hard to read, but you could lose that if it's being reproduced and reproduced and reproduced. It's I mean, there's no reason on this box here why you can't just make the box a little bigger with a little more white space, right? But I'm just looking for easy readability so we don't distract the person, that's trying to just they're just trying to read. They want to get into the story, and if you're like, oh, that text is really crowded, then you're getting taken out of the story.
yeah, like The House Belongs to Me and The Taste of Blood, I think are very well placed.
Yeah,
They're sitting nicely in the
yeah,
a speech balloon and then a narration box. Like that would be ultimately our goal in configuring that as we move forward.
yeah. We were kind of painted into a corner by me because I drew the boxes on the actual artwork, and then we inked it like that. But then when we put
Yeah.
the type inside, it wasn't fitting very good, very well. Um, So what do you think about the word balloons here? There's two boxes, and they look like they're really packed in.
Yeah, believe it or not, I expanded this box. I did not expand this box, but I could go ahead and expand it and get bigger with it. Like basically, the outside would get bigger and give some air inside. I think that really does need to happen. Um, I don't think it's killing any art because I would go this way. I would literally go up and expand this way on it, so then the text would shift. And this
Yeah,
one, I don't really worry about what we're losing here, but
yeah,
it
on
would
that
be
one, yeah,
something
on
like
that
that,
one, yeah, that seems like the answer on that one. Because we need
right?
the airspace all around. On this
Yeah,
one, as I'm looking at it, I think we just have too much writing in there. I think we just got to edit some of that
I
writing out.
agree. I agree.
So, I hate to make it a
But
redo, but
yeah, but
it's
we're
just
also forced on the fact that this balloon lives like that. I'm not redoing any art right now in order to accommodate something of breaking these into two boxes because that's going to put us off by weeks, if not a month or
no, no.
so,
I
to
don't
get
want to.
this
That's the
turbo
whole
teaser
point.
out.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I don't want to
Right?
redo any art at all. I just want to
Okay.
take
Okay.
this lettering block, and I'm gonna
Okay.
redo it with less writing in it, and then give it back to you so that it fits in there.
Okay. I'll
Right?
make a note that you're gonna
We're just gonna
lessen the writing.
yeah, we're just gonna take out like a word or two or three, or maybe I'm really gonna pare that down.
Rephrase it.
Yeah, when you look at this, I mean, it's horizontally scaled. I can see, that it's too obvious, right? You can see, the lettering here is comfortable, and the lettering here is very crowded, and it just seems distracting. I wouldn't even read it if that was, if I was a reader, I wouldn't even bother reading it.
It's a good call. It's a good call. I'll hold off on doing anything until I get that bit of text that I'll rehand write,
Uh huh.
and then we'll place it in there. Um, cool. And then I just did a real quickie here.
Yeah. So
I just did this,
I see.
scanned it in, and then photoshopped it, and of course I tilted it and skewed it so it like sat.
Yeah.
It's supposedly sitting on the ground, but that was in all sincerity, it could be the teasers placeholder, and then you and I can get a hold of it when we get to issue one, when we have all the teasers collected into official issue one. Um, or we can, you could do something and I could I don't know. We could work something out together. But like I
Yeah,
said,
no,
time
I
is of
owed you
the
this.
energy.
Yeah, I owed you this, and I didn't get to it. I think Turbo Pit Fighter should be big, and then this the word credits can be slightly smaller. Down here, and I like the tilt, so it looks like it's engraved in the floor. Um, but I got to get you that. I mean, this doesn't match anything that we're doing. So um, definitely, I'll work on that. Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna make it look like the letters are in the ground. You know.
Yeah.
Um. So here, okay. Um. I would say I wonder if this needs to come up a pitch. I don't know. It's a very close call. Um. This is starting to look a little bit crowded, but maybe
I agree. This one could use a rephrasing.
well, I think I think you could just grab it and vertically scale it. It's fine left and right. I would just vertically scale it like 3%. Just you just need some air in there and some air in there. But I don't think we need to rephrase that. I think
All right.
I think just vertically scale it. Um, some of this did get you know really crowded here. Yeah. So what's your view on taking a word another violent? I could take out the word violent here and just move everything up. I would. That's what I would do if you're up for it. If you think it's too minor, then we can just pass that.
Yeah, I think it's too minor at this point because I'll tell you this: the last, I think the last page definitely that I ended up hand lettering a couple days ago. Um, I'm the next go round. I'm going to actually, even at the 13 by 19, I'm going to bring them out and probably expand them by another 50% because I'll have a lot more control on top of the layout of the text, um, and then maybe even be able to create something in the way of expanding inside photo and shop and trying to cut lines and move, because I did do that a couple of times. That wasn't based on your layout, it was just on the way that my hand paced out the line, and so
Yeah,
it just ended up, basically kind of like 2 or 3 characters longer. So I just had to shift it because it would have just had this big butting out
yeah. I
from
mean,
there.
photo.
But once again, if it was very tight, it's very compacted, typing wise.
Yeah. Um. I'm just looking at this now. We could definitely shorten things up. I suspect that all sting for a while. I mean, when you can't even make out the word, this looks like one word, may sting. You know. Um. And I kind of like how the bold jumps out. If we go back at some other point before the final printing
Yeah.
and put some bold in. I could even do that myself. Um, Here, I think this is because my boxes weren't um, exactly horizontal, but it's like the text is going uphill, and it's like it's touching the line here almost, and it's touching the line here, but it's not near it.
Oh. Mm.
So I think I think you go in Photoshop and just skew that so that it fits in the box because the box is probably off, right?
Or my line is just kind of dipping
So you
down
want,
at the
yeah,
going from left to right, or I was going right from left up and making my line as quick as I was making my line.
yeah. This is crowded here. This is all fine here, here, here. This is crowded here. So I could redo the lettering and give you a new text block, or you could horizontally and vertically scale it. But it looks like it needs both, and that would make the letters smaller. I mean, the letters are just crowded to each other, right? There's no space in here.
Yeah, because that was, like I said, that's
Okay.
what we went
I'll do.
about you in Quark Express. You know,
Yeah,
that was
I could redo that. We
it
got to
just
just sacrifice some words and be less wordy. I could do
okay.
that. So far it looks like only two places that we need to do that for sure. But let's go.
Well, you know,
Um,
yep, yep, yep.
yeah, because I love this lettering here. You know, the lettering is done very carefully. It looks like the computer lettering. You know,
Right.
this is too. So here you could just make the box bigger. I don't think that's gonna um, mess up any art, right? Just to make the box bigger here.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Here it's a little crowded. Yeah, you would have to go this way and make the box bigger this way. But it's a shame that this. Well, I guess live and learn. But had we had this been planned better, um,
Just to remind everybody, this was a 20-year ago drop off. I wouldn't say abandon, but
right.
this project literally was left alone for 20 years. It was not abandoned. And we're literally doing everything we would have done 20 years ago, even with the updated technology. One of the things Jake was experiencing with Quark Express was he had the font that he originally had everything laid out in, he no longer had, so he had to find a comparable font, and we
Comic
found
and
that it just wasn't as comparable in the way that you were finessing it. So, this is why we put the teaser. We're putting the teaser together. It's also going to have all of its little nuancy things that creates a collector's item for the secondary market far after you and I are dead. So,
um, I'm looking at this guy. So I like the blood here is good. It looks realistic. I think I mentioned long ago that
yeah, I
the
tried to fix that up. I used a water. It ended up being a water soluble pen. I ended up marking over the top of it, but it just looks a little wetter. Um, but the gradient, other than kind of creating some white edges, it's going to be kind of tough for me to do anything at this point, other than redrawing the panel itself.
well, I think the issue is the anti-aliasing that it has
There's
around the
no
blood.
anti. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all by hand. There's
Oh,
nothing. I
really?
didn't do anything in
Yeah, it looks
computer. No,
like
it was because
a
I
base.
do my graphite wash. I do my graphite wash. The pen that I had originally put down was a brush pen, and I did not know that it was it actually reconstituted with the water, so it created a bleed on it.
Right, right.
It happened in a couple places. I was able to kind of make my way around it, but unfortunately, I think this is the tougher one. I mean, if you're dying, I can, if it's killing you, I can redo that panel and cut and insert it.
Um, yeah, maybe just take out some of the splatter that doesn't look like blood drops. Like here, it just looks like she got splattered with blood. Here, it doesn't. I'm not sure what it looks like. Um,
Mm.
I'll
Oh,
I'll
maybe
leave it.
you're saying it has like too many blood spatters,
Well, it looks like it.
spottiness.
Yeah, I know how it happened, but it looks like somebody came in with Photoshop with a airbrush tool, and
Right,
and
right, right.
because it looks alias for some reason.
Yeah, but even as a let's call it an accident or a lack of understanding for the tool, I'm going to keep this in my toolbox. So if I want that effect, I'm going to make sure that I lay in with that brush, and then obviously when I do my pass over with the graphite, the water soluble graphite to give my um, gray values, it'll have that effect. But for blood, I agree with you. It does not
Yeah, I mean this is
carry
perfect
over
right here.
as strong as it does. Yeah, as strong as it does for this one on page 4 or 5 of the
Um,
teaser.
so here I just extended this little shape here on bastards. Um, here maybe if these are on separate layers, maybe you could just kick back the the rubble and the debris behind it, so it doesn't look like it's part of the
Right.
letters. I like that though. I think we should do that more often, where it's just text without a box.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, anything that yeah, this is crowded. Yeah, so here, yeah, this is distracting. It looks like
It's tough. It's
the
tough to read.
yeah, it's such a it looks like it's going downhill a
And
little.
this, I could tell you, this was one of those areas where I ended up writing too far over. Like my
Uh,
hand kept carrying over the characters. And so
yeah,
I had to cut a line or two out and then shift them back in. But as you can see, it even the even the way the conformity of the blocking of text, it's jagged. Like it's not absorbing in the way of attention. So
no, I think we I mean I don't mind just pulling some words out just to make it fit better. What do you think on this one? Just because
yeah,
because
let's. I mean, if you're
the
gonna go in and
it looks like the space between the lines. I had to take too much out. I could definitely we could definitely fix that. I mean, we have
yep,
we have
yep,
we have these set boxes. Let's just fit the text within the set boxes.
yep.
Um, this is going the SMAP. Did we talk about the SMAP before?
I don't know. Let's
Okay,
talk
yeah,
about it again.
the SMAP looks like it's got too much light and dark. It needs to be one or the other,
Okay, you want to
right?
go lighter?
Yeah, well, you
I
can
agree. I think
decide.
this it's lost. It's lost down in here. I mean, I can actually just do a nice little whitewash
Oh yeah, I'm
over the
looking. I'm
top of
looking
it
at
and
the.
just see what's going on.
I'm looking at the PDF. Yeah, it looks like it's hard. It's just hard to read. We just wanted to read SMAP. Very. So yeah, either you kick back the dark spots or else make it all dark or whatever. But
Okay.
just make it read SMAP and yeah because I think this panel is great.
Oh, I
The
agree.
flow from the first panel. It's like a left and then a right. Um, so this doesn't look so bad here. I wonder, are you kind of like speeding up on the text at this point? I know like at the page one you probably are going like super slow and careful and methodical and
Well, just to give background, I was doing this while we were on air and talking.
yeah,
So had to divide my attention.
yeah,
um, is not a positive. Like for instance, I've made this statement many times, and I will constantly. I do not draw at conventions. If I am at a
right,
convention, I can't. I can't split my attention because the art sucks. It ends up just sucking.
yeah,
Um, but I did do a couple. I did redo one or two of these, just because when I then scanned them and placed them in, I didn't like them. So if there's any here that you're seeing is just like ew, then I'm fine. But I think this is the heaviest text page we have in the set of 6 right now, and I don't know, man.
yeah. If you
It
look closely,
almost
this is a
works. Like it almost works as like you're going to read and then you're going to go back and look at all the little pictures because that's what it is. It's other than these two close-ups, extreme close-ups, it's all little pictures.
so I think what we need to
So
do
it's
I think what we
good
need to do is
balance.
for this is there's a couple of dialogue balloons that it's not the announcer talking. I think where it's the announcer talking, I don't know. It just looks too intimidating. And it also looks like we're getting away from the font a lot. Um, but I don't know. Just maybe yeah. Just
Now, where is it? Where is the text getting? Where are the blocks getting away from the announcer? Because this from here, 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 here,
yeah. It's
here,
all the
here, and here
announcer.
is
It's all the
all him.
announcer. except for these word
Right.
balloons here,
Do we
right?
want to do like you had said? You had said while we were doing the lettering, one of the things was maybe the box itself becomes grayer. Like
Right,
these
or
would all become grayer in order to
put some gray,
contrast it against everything else. I mean, I could put like a 10 or 15% gray screen.
or you could make it, or you can make it gray with knockout white. Also that's another option.
Oh, that'd be
I'm
kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like this is where if we were color, we would have a lot more flexibility. But um, putting a dot in it makes it a little bit harder to read.
The only thing I would say is that if we do whatever we do for these in let's say being successful, we would have to come back and do it everywhere else because it starts pretty much right here. So this is page 2 of the story, and it's this is the announcer. So we would want to come back and make sure that element is what's carrying through all of the pages, not just this page. Because if you came to this page and all of a sudden all of these, you'd be like, well, why is this different?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what we're figuring out here. Not all pages are this heavy on announcer, but this one is because it's setting up, that they're going to be wheeling in the trophy girl. That's important to the
Yeah.
story.
And then
Um,
what I'm worried about if we do a black on white knockout, this one is the page 1 is the only white on black knockout we have, and it was only because of the darkness of the. It was just a compositional decision of the white here, the black at the back, the door coming
yeah,
down, and just having this really set off. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
so
here and here, it wouldn't be so bad because it's not kind of like competing with anything.
correct,
But
correct,
I wouldn't do it here because these are dark panels already.
right, right. Yeah, why don't I just try? Why don't I just try something here with 10 to 15% gray behind it, just to see.
Yeah. And right, and so then the question is, what else do we need to fix up? So I mean, I don't want you to have to redo any lettering. But I am going to give you some new text blocks. I think I'm going to have to give you this one new. Take out some words. Um, I want people to read this, and it doesn't have to be so wordy. So I'll do that again in Quark. Um,
Okay.
this one, it looks like there's a lot of space on the right, but not as much on the left. You can just move that over, and don't worry about the three dots.
Well, it's those 3 dots there. Should I get rid of 2 of them?
Yeah, I would not worry about the three dots if that's what's making it kick over. Um, I mean,
Okay.
I also see this lines up. It looks like we have some more space. I mean, if we're going all the way over here, then you could just bring this box all the way out, right?
Yeah, I mean that's cutting it real close because this is a physical extension of that original block. Because this was definitely probably right there. I came in and I cut out a piece and then copied and pasted it over and then dragged it over to fit that text in.
Right. But if that's going to extend, right? I mean, if that's going to
And
extend,
this was probably the same thing too here, is that this ended up being extended a bit to accommodate this. But yeah, it then ended up creating all of this dead space
yeah,
above it.
right.
Tricky,
So
tricky, tricky, tricky.
yeah, and it's so funny how you don't really visualize any of this until you see it.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
name of the game here.
yeah. So what else is going on? Um,
Got a last page.
okay, redo. um, the the square. I wonder if the squareness of the box is hurting us. Should we like just as a design? I wonder if I should have made the boxes like a little rounded or something. Because I wonder if that's going to be like
I don't think that's going to make any difference. If anything, it's going to restrict air around it because you're cutting the corners off.
right.
I
So
mean, if you wanted to create something that was more like, let's say, jagged or irregular about the shape of the box because it was somebody talking, like an announcer, the next
yeah,
thing and
right.
blah 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 blah, then it would have added to what the visual, because this is an awesome visual of that
Mm-hmm.
guy's voice. You get it twice. By now you can hear that guy's voice,
Right.
and so if we were to do anything, we would cause something to be, kinetic around this text in order
Yeah,
to
right. Sometimes in the corners they have like these little three lines in the corners, right? That's that's one possibility. But I don't want to change it now. I just
no,
wondering what
exactly.
what what could
It's
have been.
something that we could, like I said, I'm totally down with revisiting once issue one is complete with all the
Yeah.
teaser work that we've done. Obviously, by the time we do that, we're there. You and I are going to be at places where we're like, fuck it, we got to redo all of the hand typing. Fuck it, we need to change his. It's got to happen. This, nope, nope, and it's just a part of the machine,
Yeah, I
you
mean, I
know.
would. I'm looking at the
And
difference
I'm
between.
totally accepting of it. I just don't want to double down on something and then find at the end of issue one that we really didn't need to. But we should have doubled down on this. So by having these teasers roll out, we're helping ourselves visualize what the wholeness is going to look like. Because God forbid where we're at, 6 years from now with issue six, and the ending, and you and I are just like, nah, we got to redo all the typing.
Well, by then, yeah, I mean we're inventing the wheel right now so that we don't have to do all
Oh
that
yeah,
later. Like
yeah,
I
and it's
can't
out of
wait to the
wooden stone.
I can't wait to the part
This
where we
wheel.
just like systematize all this like technical stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and
Um,
then as you're laying out the pages now on issue two, you are already up to 15. So we would even make these adjustments pre me inking with the lettering. Like the
yeah, we're
lettering's
gonna
going to
we're
happen before I start inking.
that's right, definitely. Yeah, we could you could see it on issue two already.
Yep, yep,
But yeah,
yep.
so that's I think this is the big takeaway is, you know, it was a big mistake for me to be so wordy here. Lesson learned. We'll redo these boxes that need it. Um, and if this is gonna be our lifelong legacy in a printed graphic novel with a glossy cover in Barnes and Noble, I think we have to really
Wait a
slow
second.
down
You think
these.
Barnes and Noble's going to be around in 6 years?
Well, however people get their book, they're going to be a drone flying through your window. But whatever it is,
With a
um,
pizza,
yeah, whatever it
a
is, like,
turbo pit fighter pizza.
I would say, like, even if you need to kick it over to me or something, we got to take the time to get make it look like,
I
you
agree.
know almost as good as it could be. Like, it's getting like it looks like you're on a moving train here. Um, So yeah, and I know that's because we in the middle of a live broadcast doing it, but maybe we should play some meditative music to slow the pace down.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think also too. The unfortunate part right now is, other than Sunday, from we get together usually about 10 in the morning till about 1:30. I have very little time to devote. I actually try to devote as much time as I get up in the morning on Sunday to kind of get things established so I don't have to worry about it. But,
yeah,
other than quote unquote taking a day off from work and
yeah.
sitting down and ink and hand lettering all the pages,
No, this
I
is
don't
our
know
time.
how. And then if we do a 2.5 hour podcast where neither one of us are talking and we're playing copywritten meditation music, and then the video gets flagged. It is what it is, Jake. And I know the one thing people need to understand is we have quite a lot of nice dynamic opposites. You are OCD and I am ADD. So it's just, and we have to roll with this as two partners.
Yeah.
I know both of us have a huge amount of respect and love for each other. I have said this many a times. I feel very blessed working with you because of your ability to write in very short consecutive movements, and then the design integration of the text to the visuals and the paneling and the sequencing. But I really wanted to get exactly where we're at right now, and if we want to consider these placeholders and print the teaser, that'll be one thing. But I
Yeah,
will
that's fine.
definitely be with you. I will definitely be with you on issue one, at the end of issue one, with all the teasers, and knowing that we're going to want to tighten this thing up, and so therefore how to do it.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
just I feel really really good. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna have
I'm
to
out of.
edit this out. But it's definitely, when this video drops, it's going to be July, August. It'll be August when this video drops. So, because we're not ready to go to print. So,
Right.
but
Well, yeah. I mean, if you print what you got now, and then we fix the letters later, or fix these little things later, it's all
well,
versions.
can I get you to agree that, with all the little notes that we have made and what it is that we need to get done, the next time our Turbo Knots see a printed version of Turbo, the teaser, we're going to be basically saying, "Hey, everybody, we're ready to get these in your hands."
Yeah, that's what we're working towards. I mean, I have to
Well, no,
give
I'm
you
I'm
a
asking
whole.
you I'm asking you to commit to whatever changes we're leaving on this video. You and I off air will get these done by the time we then sit down and talk again.
Oh yeah,
That
well
the turbo,
I got
we're
to give you
ready
the
to go. We're
logo
we're ready to go.
and the first page title graphics, right? I got to give you
You
the
got that?
logo and the
Yep.
title
You have.
graphics.
Yep.
Yeah, no
Because if
problem.
you think of it this way, once you get this, or however it's going to move up in here, this, and then the areas where you're going to rephrase, I take it all, and then we'll complete it, and then what I'll
Yeah.
end up sending to you will be the next thing. And so even the strategy of time that we have right now, being in the summer, and you're off and I'm heading into vacation
Well,
time
yeah,
and
this is
stuff, that
yeah. I mean, ordinarily the time that we commit to is this time, an hour a week. But if there's some homework, I'm off, so this is definitely the season.
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at this little balloon here. This needs to be like rounded out like this,
Which
and
one? I'm sorry, I didn't. Which one? Which one?
the very last panel.
This
And
one
do you
here?
think, yeah, and do you think we need a to be continued or something?
Oh yeah, maybe right in here. Right, like that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to do this, but do you think we need to like vertically scale this and make the whole thing squat so you can just have a little to be continued on the bottom, or
Nah, nah.
because the word balloon
We have
happens
enough
to be on
room.
the
We have enough room. We have enough room in the teaser. This is all teaser space. This space will
Oh,
go
okay.
away from here to here. This goes away once we print the comic, and this is not to be continued
Oh,
when
you
the
have it like
comic
that. Okay.
happens.
I just saw what you got.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's why the teaser's the way it is just to give us it's something, like I said, it's something in your hands. It's to feel and see the physicality of the book, instead of looking at PDFs on digital line and all blah 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 crap.
yeah. All right.
So
So
yeah,
now we're on the
I
back
mean,
cover here.
yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah. So this is just crazy like zine art, right? We're just doing our. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
how this looks. This I like how this it has a lot of what do I want to say? Tension? No, dissonance, right? I like how this has a little dissonance. I wonder if we could do something with
Well, the
with
punk
this.
rock, the punk rock flyer feeling.
Right, right. I wonder if we could do something with this black line here. Can you this black line? It seems like it fights with the turbo figure. Can you select these black outlines and kick them back?
Okay, so technically speaking, right now I can't see your camera. So
Oh,
for whatever
well, you're
reason, I
looking at the
can't.
back cover,
I
right?
don't know what happened.
Oh, you can't see
Yeah,
my.
but
All
when
right.
you say black lines, I don't know. I
So
don't know
the
where this reference is right now.
okay. So you have a black outline around the words Turbo Pit Fighter on the top, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you select that black line, those black lines in Photoshop, and make them lighter so that they're not such hard black lines? And I'll leave it to you. Like, does it need to be 60%, 70%, 40%, 80%, whatever looks good, so that
Why don't you
those
want them? Why don't you want them black?
they can be dark, but it looks to me like it's taking away from the turbo image and all the other stuff on the page. Um, I would use
So
gray.
you want this to be?
I would strategically use gray there, yeah. And I'll leave it to you whether that should be. Maybe it only needs to be 80%. Maybe it needs to be 60%. Play around with it and whatever you think looks good. But
Uh,
I think when you look, like it's about where's the eye go when you first, flip the page, boom, like that. Okay. I think the eye should go to Turbo's face and her eye, which is looking at the lettering, and then you look at the lettering. So I think if that was, I mean, this is in my mind how it works. I don't know how it really works for every person that's looking at this, but in my mind, I would just take those outlines and make them. I mean, I would make them a color if we were working in color, but we're working in grayscale.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
I would take
yeah.
that I would take
No, I
that
get what you're
that
talking about.
that hard outline and make it gray instead of black. I think that would work better. And let's see, Turbo Teaser number one, June 2023. Well, that came and went. Pose a buck like the romantic. Yeah. So we have our credits here on the inside already. So this is kind of repeating, and you're typing it. All right. I think the contact info and the URL. This is where it feels like you need the scan code because people can just skip all that. Like, is anybody gonna type this in with underscores ever?
Oh, it's a true story. It could
Uh,
verify the website for them.
right.
This I did. I did this like literally at the beginning of June.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I know.
so
This
you know
is
what I
just
mean. Then,
this is
then I saw
placeholder.
something. I saw something on somebody else's comic book website, and they had in the story a QR code. And if
Mm,
somebody was smart enough, it took them somewhere. And so my
right.
brain immediately was like, "Oh shit, we got to put a QR code, you know, on our teaser if we're setting this thing out." So and I just think a thing.
Is this
Now
all one flat?
there's a
Is this all one?
chance.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
There's
I
a
was just gonna
chance.
say
What?
there is a chance I can even with the original art play around with this. With some maybe washes or something. I don't know if you noticed up here. I took a gray color pencil and just did it right over the top of the outline, right there. Do you see that?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm
See how I
talking about.
ghosted it down? Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
can play around. Because like I said, this has to go because this is this is gone. Um, I can probably just go
Close.
ahead and play down here. What do we want? What do we want to say though on the back as the turbo teaser? And is it that we want to move this to the back? So it
I
would
would
be
take.
it
Here's
a
what.
QR
Here's
code here and then
yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Right. And here's what I
Right?
would do. I would take the synopsis and put just a blurred version of it there. That fits.
A synopsis, like a handwritten, like
Yeah, I
you're gonna
have the
write the
synopsis.
synopsis.
I have it written somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the health claw.
That's-
It's on the health claw. I mean,
oh,
we
okay,
wouldn't
okay.
we wouldn't be able to use the whole thing. We would just use like the top line, part of it. But is this all flat where your letters are drawn right over the art?
Oh yeah, this is all one piece of art.
Yeah. Okay. So right around where you say apocalyptic romance.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I like it. Does the black around there doesn't match the quality of all the rest of the shading and everything. So I would just black all that
right,
out. Yeah. Just
right.
forget
Yeah, I'll
about
probably
that.
end up, yeah, in the this will all get kind of like whited out. I'll white all this out, and then I'll
Yeah.
I'll blacken this to be more just like this, and then I'll reword, if you will, right on top of it with the QR code, a space for that to get dropped in by Photoshop, so it's a crisp you QR code.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, cool, cool. This is
I'll give you the
exciting.
blurb. I'll give you the blurb.
I'll even make,
I'll
yeah, get
and then
get
you'll typeset it, right?
from. Yep.
Okay. That can just be. I mean, I don't want to put my OCD on you, but pick a font.
Too late.
Pick a font
Too late.
that is not one of the default fonts of Windows.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
still gonna handwrite it. I'm still gonna handwrite it.
Oh, no, 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 no! It's gonna be like a little
No, it has to
paragraph.
be. No, it has to be. Nope, 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 nope. It has to be.
Really? All right. Well, then
Yep.
we'll
No, I
just see
don't
how.
want. I want very little because it just once again it would just cheapen us by degrees, like minuscule degrees. It would cheapen us to put computer printed out font on there.
All right.
I
Well,
mean, other than printing the comic book and a QR code, I want this to be 100% hand. And like I
okay.
said,
Yeah. If it's the it,
I'm going to be auditing this original art. So
right, you're going
that's
back to that.
that. That is
All
that.
right.
Literally,
So uh, so
legitimately, Jake.
so just to recap, let's see. I got to give you the Doom Magazine's logo, which is the doesn't have to be the final logo that we're going to put on the printed comic, but it has to be final enough for the teaser. Um,
Yeah,
and then are we do so we did we decide whether we're doing that in the black or the white?
we'll find out. We'll find out. If you make it square, I really do believe it'll work really nice up here.
In the
But we'll
black.
need to put something. We need something. I think should be post-apocalyptic or
Yeah,
whatever, like
yeah. You
teaser.
know
Oh,
what?
you
A
had said
post.
six page teaser,
Right, six. But
six
you
page
want to put
teaser.
post-apocalyptic love story there?
Nah, 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 no. I forgot. I have it right here in the written. It's written right
Okay,
here.
so
It says
it's gonna be
six-page teaser,
in the white, and then we'll have
story
the do,
teaser.
and we'll have Doom Magazine presents in the black.
Bam. Bing, bing,
Okay.
bing. Bing, bing,
All
bing,
right. I'm
bing,
giving
bing, bing.
myself a little checklist here, what to do. Um,
All right.
that's gonna fit right there. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to give you these Quark redos.
Yes. And you're going
Um,
to rephrase them. There's about three or four. You got to rephrase them and then just block them to whatever the block is. And then if they're a little bit bigger, when I'll make it, I'll deal with it.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, because
Because I'm even thinking about just doing a block around the text and then scan it, the whole block, and drop it in with the new borderline box and the text,
right,
just to see what happens. I mean, I have that ability, and then I can cut things up in Photoshop and make it
right. Okay. Yeah, this shouldn't be hard at all. So
happen. All right.
and boy, I wish I would have realized, but you do have to understand that the reader that's flipping through this, even if they bought it, they may or may not read your text blocks and get into the actual story. And there's a big difference between those that do. You need to lure them in. Once they do that, such a different takeaway of the story if they're reading every word, right?
Right. I say it all the time. Who's reading comics?
Well,
Question mark.
in the store, well, the store. Are there stores anymore? But if you're flipping through it,
Barnes and
deciding
Nobles.
if you right, if you right, whatever happened to Border Book? If you're flipping through it, deciding if you're going to buy it, you say you're looking at the art, right, and you're looking at the balance of text, right. You're like, how much text is in here? Like, is this a nice juicy story that I want to get into when I get
Am I
home?
gonna fucking read this thing? No.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's just like blocks and blocks and blocks, I mean, we could go over this in comics to influence, like when they just
I
overdo
will
it.
say this. I will say this. I bought from Walden's bookstore at the local mall when I was in my teen years. Um, all the Elf Quests in graphic novel form. And then there was I can't remember, I don't know if it was Star Reach or somebody was putting out sci fi novels with like Gray Marrow and Harlan Ellison had written. And they were very text heavy, but I was blown away by the art. And so as I even say, who's reading comics? Question mark. I'm not using that as a why bother putting text on um, in or a comic. But at the same time, we do need to be aware. You know, who would buy this kind of comic and would on run read, and we'll find out. We'll find out. So that's once again, this is all about us finding out. That's why we're doing this. The Turbo Pit Fighter podcast is to keep us on point once a week for at least an hour to keep this comic book moving and also learn what's going on out there. And I just have to say, we have a community tab. Please join in. Every day there's a really cool little poll that we put up. Go through all the polls and answer them if you want. Ask questions. There's where I'm answering at least all the comments. Jake jumps in here and there to come in from the outside and embellish the answers. But you know, we're also understanding that we need to build a good, decent community. So, and I also want to thank right here and now everybody who's made comments, whether they're positive or negative. We have gotten very little negative comments, but also your enthusiasm to see these pit fighter teasers come out. So thank you very much. So that's all I have, Jake. We'll let these people get back to reading comic books, making them if that's what they do.
Sounds good, man. See you next time, and thanks for hanging in, everyone.